KTSO AM Madison. We are 1070 The Game. Free never.
Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Oak Park Place, Wild Rock Golf Club, Mercedes-Benz of Madison, TPC Wisconsin, University Ridge Golf Course, Ridgetop Exteriors, Southern Italy Imports, and Nevada Bobs. Now, here's your foursome for Talking Golf. Wisconsin Golf Hall of Famer Dennis Tiziani, Wisconsin Broadcaster Hall of Famer Paul Braun, Wisconsin Premier Golf Reporter Gary D'Amato, and host of his daily statewide sports talk show, Mike Heller.
And we welcome you in to Talking Golf on a Monday night at TPC Wisconsin. I'm Mike, Paul Braun, Dennis Tiziani. Dave McCann is pushing most of the right buttons, usually, and we welcome him here as well as we get underway. And we won't banter at all here. We'll welcome in Steve Stricker, who joins us out of the gates. Mario Tiziani will join us in about 30 minutes. Gary D'Amato in between. And to keep in the family, Bobbi Stricker today at about 6:40.
What a lineup. What a foursome that is.
Pretty good lineup. Yeah, Gary can't play, but the other guys, the other three, pretty darn good. Steve, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. And let's get a day update. Izzy's playing a little bit, and you were up where she's in some match play. So give us a little update on what the little one did today.
Yeah, she's playing in the women's match play event up at Old Hickory in Beaver Dam. We watched her this afternoon. She qualified this morning, a qualifying round. She shot even par, qualified second, the low 32, then going to match play. So she won her first match this afternoon, 4-3, against a pretty tough little competitor. This girl, was hanging tough for a long time, and Izzy was, I think, 2 under par this afternoon. So she played really well and did a lot of good things, drove the ball well, and made some clutch putts when she had to. So it was fun to watch, and I'm not sure who she plays tomorrow, but if she continues to win, if she wins in the morning, she'll play a match in the afternoon again. And you just keep going. I think Wednesday, afternoon, I think. There's 2 more matches a day.
Well,
get it done. So.
Since you finished here in the Am Fam 8 days ago, that's been kind of your path. You went to the State Open over in La Crosse to watch both girls play, and then some Izzy stuff this week. So we didn't get a chance to visit with you last week. You were at the Women's State Open, so let's go back and talk about the Am Fam Championship and your thoughts on how that tournament went. We'll ask the bigger picture questions first. Your impressions and your feelings about the venue change and being here at a course that obviously you designed and certainly have great knowledge of. How did you think it went?
I thought it went way beyond all our expectations. Anytime you take an event like we had over at University Ridge, and it was a successful event there, and bringing it to a new spot. There's a lot of unknowns, right? And but everything went so well. Piz's group there at the TPC was phenomenal. From inside to outside, his staff was so accommodating, and the players felt it. They felt welcome. The course held up. I got a lot of positive reports. From players, and even I would ask, where guys are really going to vent their frustration about a golf course is that when they're signing their scorecard at the end of the day. And so I asked the tour staff, any negative feedback, and they said no. They come in and they were super happy about it, and the team event I think helped in that way. It's a demanding course off the tee. And to have a partner in your back pocket was actually a lot of fun. And it made you, at times, have to step up and hit a drive. I left Mario hanging a few times. He left me hanging a few times. But that's what made it fun, knowing that you had to hit a shot and come through for your partner. So, the course was in great shape. There really wasn't any negatives that I heard of whatsoever.
Steve, I listened to a lot of the press conferences and those situations and that kind of thing, and what it was, I did not hear a negative word. What did you hear from the players in particular about the golf course? What did they like about it, or what did they say about it?
They loved the green complexes. Mm-hmm. They loved the condition of the golf course. I think the green complexes, we were coming off a couple of weeks of just crazy greens. One at Congressional was a redo there at Congressional, and they really made these greens super severe and bizarre in some ways. A lot of players didn't like that. And then a redo in Iowa at the at our Champions Tour event there too, and not a lot of positive feedback from that redo either. So when they came to TPC and had these green complexes that were fair but tough, but not a tremendous amount of movement, but just enough kind of thing, I think they really appreciated that. And of course, they said couldn't have been in any better shape than it was. So and just again, we try to treat them well, as Nate and his team, from our team treats the players really well, and it's just one of those events that they really appreciate, and they really enjoyed TPC this year.
Steve Stricker joining us on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin. Steve, when you did your post-round interview with John Cook on Sunday afternoon, you immediately talked about one of his questions was that format, and you talked about the potential of at least moving it a little bit format-wise in maybe a modified alternate shot. What are your thoughts now a week removed from that concept, and how does that process play itself out?
Yeah, I think we definitely could do that. I think what I'd like to do is get, almost poll the players. I mean, I feel like, we're in a position, we want to make them happy. I want guys to come here to play, to have fun, and not upset the apple cart, really, and just make sure that they want to come and play an event that they want to be at and have fun doing it. And I know they did this year. So if we kind of test them and see if a modified alternate shot where both guys drive it off the tee and then you take the best one and alternate from there, I think that's very doable. And I think that would be a separator too, even though those guys won by, I think, 4 shots this year. It kind of separates the field a little bit because you have to alternate and you have to rely on your partner even more. So it's definitely a thought right now. I don't know if we'll do it, but some guys mentioned that it would be a good change if we were to do it.
Could you finish that way on Sunday? Like, if you did modify the format, would that be your finishing day in your mind? And you're not there yet, but in your mind, would that be your finishing day?
No, probably not. I think,
okay.
I think that would be the middle round. I think you stick it in the middle, and you could putz around and maybe do, scramble the first day, alternate shot, and then what am I missing?
Better
scramble,
ball.
Then the best ball. Yeah. And you could flip that around maybe one year and play better ball the first day and play alternate shot or the scramble the last day, and that would be a ton of fun. Because you're going to see a ton of birdies, and
right.
I almost would prefer it that way. And we've done that before at the Shark Shootout, a fall event on the PGA Tour that we used to play a team event at. And so they would move it around. And, one year it was a scramble to finish up, and that was a lot of fun. So I don't think you'd want to end on the alternate shot, the modified alternate shot, maybe stick it in the middle.
Right.
Steve, I know there's an awful lot of people wondering and thinking about you and your health, or what's ahead. What can you tell us at this point?
Yeah, it's a good question. I had an MRI. My back has really been the issue while I was playing last week, and not there. I don't even know, to be quite honest, if there's anything they can do about it. It's a facet joint that's giving me some problems. So I went to see a chiropractor on Friday. I'm doing some things with him to try to alleviate some of the pain. And it's, your guess is as good as mine right now, Paul. I'm frustrated for sure. I can go out and play still, and they say I can't hurt anything anymore, but it's just not, it's not me. It's not my game. It's not how I feel on the golf course, and that's been the frustrating part. So take some time to figure it out, and hopefully maybe even ask some more doctors and see if there's anything I can do.
Well, one of the things that you did say in the interview process during the tournament is when you're spending more time getting ready to play and getting ready to work on your game than you are actually doing those things, that's a tremendous adjustment and hard for you or anybody to handle.
Yeah, and I think, the amount of time that I've been able to put in isn't been quality time either, just because I feel it, the next day, that night, I'm walking around like old man. I feel like I shouldn't be yet. And so that part is irritating. So, yeah, I may just take the rest of this year and try to figure out what the heck's going on and see if I can't iron a few things out and try to get back healthier and playing better.
Steve, we're going to visit with Mario in about 20 minutes, and I'll go back to what you were saying post-round on a couple of the days of the tournament, how much fun that must have been for both of you to play together in a team format. I know it's 9 days removed from the tournament, but that had to be such a cool thing for the two of you to do.
It really was, yeah. And I had a feeling we could contend and win, matching our two games together. He does so many good things, and I'm not doing as many good things as of late, and I felt like I could lean on him a little bit, and he could lean on me in some regards. So I felt like we made a good team, and yeah, Sunday we got off to a good start, and then he left me hanging early, and then I left him hanging a lot at the end, and that's not ideal when you're trying to. You want 2 birdie putts at it, in a team event like we were playing on Sunday in the best ball format. So, and we didn't do that. So, and it was at the turn, 10, 11, and 12. I had a birdie putt at 10 and, about an 8-footer that I missed, and then 3-putt at 11 for par. And then he stuffs it in there at 12 and he missed. So that stretch there of 10, 11, 12 was kind of the difference maker, where if we make those, and they still do it, we're only 1 shot behind with, those five holes to play. So, 6 holes to play. So it would have been, I felt like, a little different story, but we were right in there. It was a ton of fun. I'm already looking forward to next year because it was so much fun to be with him and watch him do his thing. And he did great though.
Steve, you're with him a lot and that kind of thing. The growth that he has shown, how close in your mind is he, and where has he really improved as a player? How close is he to potentially being a regular on the Champions Tour?
Yeah, he's super close. I think for Mario, it's always been about the little things, the managing of his game sometimes, the crucial up and down, his short game, wedge play, and then putting, kind of the little game of the whole game, the small ball or whatever you want to call it, like in baseball, something like that, where he's just missing some of that. He does so much good of the long game, the hitting long irons, and he's a pretty good driver of the ball, and he just has so much talent when it comes to that, and he's just missing a little bit of that small stuff. And I think, making that putt like he did on the last hole, I think, I told him, I'm like, Mario, that's going to do you wonders. He stepped up there, and all that money is important, for him to try to make his way up that Schwab Cup money list, and for him to, that was like probably a $30,000-$40,000 putt that he made on the last hole. And, so he's going to remember that. He's going to remember how he felt there and that he was able to do it. So, a lot of good things, and he's super, super close to just winning one of these or just continuing the solid play like he's been.
Steve, one final one that I have, and it's a comment I told Dennis about this. Tim Herron, I thought, made the comment in his press conference that kind of sums up this whole operation here. First thing he said when he sat down, he said, "Hey, this is kind of nice. I've not been in this position where I've been in the press tent for about 3 years." So
Lumpy. Yeah.
But he said, "I have 3 young sons playing golf." And he said, "I'd like to bring them to TPC in Wisconsin for a week or two, let them play and experience that golf course, the facilities that are there, the instruction level that you can get, and those guys would be totally prepared to play or at least understand what they would need to do to play at the college level." And I thought, bingo, there's the one that kind of summarizes this whole thing.
Yeah, very much so. If you can manage your way around TPC Wisconsin and put up some good scores, you're gonna go places just because it's demanding off the tee. The green complexes, there's a lot of runoff areas, chipping areas, but it's got the whole package. It's got everything. It's got some wide open holes too. Where you can let it fly if you want to. So it's got a little bit of everything, but you're really going to have to manage your game around TPC Wisconsin to play well there. And that's the fun of golf, right? Is trying to conquer a golf course, and no one can ever conquer a golf course. You're always trying to, learn and do better each and every time you go out there. But that's the fun part of that. It's plays different every day. The wind changes, and all of a sudden the hole plays totally different. So that's the neat part.
Steve, appreciate the time you spend with us. One quick one on the way out, the USGA, the U.S. Open finishing up. I don't know how much you paid attention to it, but J.J. Spawn on that finish, and your overall thoughts on those USGA courses, 5.5-inch rough and 13 and 14 on the stimps, your view of what we just saw this weekend.
Yeah, I thought, what an incredible way to finish and win a tournament. He's 5 over through 6 holes, and then to bounce back like that just goes to show you that he kept his mental strength in check and just kind of kept plugging away and started getting some breaks. So really cool. He's a great guy. So that part was super cool. As far as the setup, Oakmont is typically that hard. They typically play that course hard even for their membership. I've heard they sometimes slow the greens down when the USGA comes there. So they probably don't play with that type of rough, but
right.
It's difficult golf course. I think the membership likes to see that there. Typically over the years when the U.S. Open has been there, the score has been high, over par, right around par. I thought it's very interesting to watch. I watched it all yesterday, and it's one time out of the year where players have to suck it up and do something a little bit different, and I enjoyed that mentality when I played, when you felt like a par was a good score. So it's fun to watch. I don't think a steady diet of that would be good for anybody. But,
no, not good for anybody.
But 1 week out of the year was a lot of fun to watch.
Again, Steve, thanks for the time you spend with us.
Appreciate
All the
it.
best to you. We're thinking about you and watching what the girls do
Appreciate
too,
it.
and we'll visit again soon.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Steve Stricker joining us. Mario will join us at the bottom of the hour. Steve had a different view of the USGA. Tiz, we'll get you involved in this in the next segment. And I know you got some thoughts for Gary D'Amato, who will join us on the other side. Oh, he's
We're
chuckling.
wondering
he's
what they
chuckling
are.
already. He won't tell us what he's got going on.
What our question was, is it safe
Yeah,
to say or
and
do on the air?
I never know. So, Dave McCann, be on your
Is somebody ready with
be
the button
ready
here?
to go on this. Gary D'Amato is next. This is Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick
Clear.
me up?
Break
It's
one,
one-stop
3
shopping
minutes.
Only at Nevada Bonds. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Thank you, Wisconsin, for supporting the 2025 American Family Insurance Championship. This year's event debuted a new team competition and a new location at TPC, Wisconsin. Congratulations to the winning team of Darren Clark and Thomas Bjorn. The pair shot 32 under over the 54-hole event, securing the team title with a final round score of 7 under 64. Mark your calendars for the 2026 American Family Insurance Championship, which returns
Gary
to TPC,
is on the line.
Wisconsin,
Gary's on the
June 5th
line.
through the 7th. Stay up to date on all things Am Fam Champ at amfamchampionship.com.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Hey, it's Mike Heller for Lombardi Lemonada Hard Lemonade. Everybody loves something new, especially when it's brand new and a taste of your favorite hard lemonade just in time for summer. Lombardi Lemonada comes in 4 unique flavors, crafted with all natural lemon juice and no artificial sweeteners. Crisp, clean, and so refreshing. It's a little slice of Sicily made right here in Wisconsin. Pick up some Lombardi Lemonada today at your local Festival Foods or at Woodman's and taste the summertime. Variety packs or single flavors available.
Escape to Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells, where championship golf meets breathtaking natural beauty. The perfect golf getaway awaits, with numerous luxurious lodging styles, perfect for groups of any size. Carved from the natural beauty of the area, Wild Rock is set against rolling hills.
1 minute,
rugged
1
terrain,
minute.
and views you won't forget. Book your next round or stay and play package today and get ready for an exceptional golf experience. Visit wildrockgolf.com for more information. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, Matt LePay, your friendly game announcer for Ridgetop Exteriors. Is your home ready to stand out this season? Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com for your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress
10
you,
seconds
you,
to
and here's the
music.
best
You got
part.
10.
New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Mics are on.
So here we go again, talking golf at TPC, Wisconsin. Mike Heller, Paul Brown, Dennis Tiziani with you. Dave McCann here. Gary D'Amato joins us from Wisconsin.golf. And Gary, you don't get any warm-up tosses here. We go right into the, fastballs right out of the gate. So your thoughts? I'm going to hold on Tiz. He's got something, but I don't know where it's going to go.
He's got something for you.
But we're not going to go there yet. So Tiz is going to have to be patient just for a minute. Yeah, your thoughts on the U.S. Open with the finish we had, the course setup, the winning score, only one player under par. Just your overall thoughts of what we saw at Oakmont this weekend.
Yeah, I just heard Steve's comments, and, the way that Braun started that final round, I think, 99% of golfers would have folded up the tent. Just an amazing finish by him on that back nine, and to birdie the last 2 holes in the U.S. Open to win, and the 64-foot putt he made on the 18th hole, which was the longest putt anybody made all week at the U.S. Open. Now he had to teach, of course. He got to see the guy putt before him, so he saw the line. But still, you have to roll it and make it. So I just thought it was just an incredible finish. 1 week a year, I think it's fun watching guys try to hack balls out of that kind of rough and try to deal with those kind of greens. Like Steve said, I don't think you're going to watch that every week, but in 1 or 2 weeks a year, I think it's very entertaining to watch that. I thought it was a great U.S. Open.
I thought that Spawn's biggest moment of the day was his putt on 12. The downhill, super fast. He barely gets it rolling, but I thought that changed the momentum. It's after the weather delay. He comes back out, and he made that birdie. That and the tee shot on 17 are – I know everybody's going to talk about the putt on 18, but those 2 shots to me are remarkable.
Yeah, the tee shot on 17 was as good as it gets. He made a 40-footer on 12, a 22-footer later on, and then a 64-footer. So he buried 3 really long putts on those greens with the U.S. Open hanging in the balance. You
Are
got
you
to
gonna
tip your cap
Are
to
you
that
gonna
guy.
cash?
Oh boy!
Are
Here
you
it
gonna
is.
cash that check from the USGA? That's you're
you didn't
talking
like
about.
it? I thought
It's
it was-
terrible. Since when do you play golf out
Well,
of that? You
you're-
can't see your shoes here and there. If you drop your club in the rough, you lose the club. That's not golf. That's not. Has nothing to do with it. And when you have green speeds in that 14 and 15, that's a joke, especially there.
Yeah.
That course doesn't need to be done, but they want to preserve their image.
Sure.
Beat the pro.
Yeah, that's a
They
U.S.
beat the pro. You know.
That's your USGA, PGA. All right, but
it's
no,
terrible.
now, listen. You've been quiet the whole show, other than that moment right there.
Yeah.
And you've been waiting on whatever this is.
Well, I
want to
know. I want to
Here
know.
it comes, folks.
I want to know when I go over to Rome, am I going to get a D'Amato Edie pizza?
What are you talking about?
Oh boy, what?
What?
You're-
Wait a second. You got to clarify that, Dennis.
Oh yeah. Well, I heard that you're going over to Rome and you're going to start a business over there.
Oh, no. I don't know where you heard that from, but I am.
Okay, come on. You're going
I
to
have
be
a
what?
project.
You're going to try to be like me. You're going to be what? A citizen?
Yeah, my brother and
There
I
you-
have applied, and a couple cousins have applied for citizenship.
There you
And
go.
Where'd
See?
you hear that from?
Never
Dennis?
mind. I just
He's got
follow
sources
and
everywhere.
follow. A citizen.
What
You're going
the
to be.
heck?
You're going to try to be like me.
Like you? What does that mean?
Oh well, Tiziani, Gary Diamatotini. You know,
I see.
he's going to have a pizza over in Rome. I can go over there.
Yeah, we're thinking about.
There it
Well,
is.
we're trying to get dual citizenship, and maybe we'd spend like a month every other year in Rome or
See?
somewhere in Italy, and
He's going to be a citizen of Rome.
Well,
I don't know
well,
where
what's-
the heck you. There's like 10 people in the world who know that.
Yeah, well, then you don't have much of a long list to figure out who the mole is.
I guess not.
Yeah. So
Rob Hernandez, where are you?
You're there he
What does he say?
He figured it out already.
He knows who it is.
Oh, I don't know.
He knows who it is.
Who is it?
He said Hernandez.
I'm not telling.
Who said what?
He said Rob Hernandez.
Well, maybe.
Who else will tell you that?
I told him I'm going to get him. I saw Hernandez down at the match
Okay.
play, and he mentioned about. I said, "He what? He's going to be a
Oh,
citizen?"
boy.
And that's too much. How can that possibly be?
Guess who's getting a phone call in about 6 minutes?
Exactly.
Rob, don't answer.
He's on speed dial.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. Well, okay. So family heritage obviously is Italian then, because that's the only way you're going to get citizenship. Is that what I'm getting? Is
Exactly.
that what we're getting at here,
Oh boy.
Gary?
Yeah, Sicily. My grandparents are from near Palermo, Sicily. So, yeah.
They're a product of the Mediterranean invasion down there. You know, that's not the.
Well, let me ask you another question. So we have the women's state match play going on that we talked a little bit about what Izzy's got going, but Bob Gregorski just won the state senior match play last week. So now you were telling me he has won every major WSGA title at all age levels in his career. So where does he stack up? He was pro briefly, but where does he stack up as an amateur golfer in the state of Wisconsin? And who are some of the better ones? I'll let you and Dennis go back and forth maybe here a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I don't know if you disqualify Bob as a pure amateur because he was a pro for a couple of years, played some mini tour stuff, and then got reinstated. But certainly since then, the record he's compiled as an amateur is, you know, second to none. You know, if you're going to talk about pure amateurs, guys who never, like Archie Jadian turned pro for a while and then won a bunch of stuff as a reinstated amateur, Mark Bumowski never turned pro. Mark Bumowski won 6 state AMs, a state open, a U.S. senior amateur, finished runner-up twice in the U.S. senior amateur, and made the cut in the state amateur in like 41 or 42 consecutive years. And that's a record nobody is ever going to break. Nobody's going to make 40 straight cuts in the state am. So I would put Mark at the top of my list as far as pure amateurs. And when you look at the women, Maggie Leaf, I think she's qualified for like 24, 25 USGA championships. There was a woman, Dennis might remember, Carol Sorensen-Flanagan, who played out at Janesville.
Sure.
Wonderful player, yeah. She had an unbelievably good amateur record. So there's been, and then you go way back to Wilfred Worley and Ned Alice, who won 10 state AMs way back when, and Lynn Lardner. I don't know how you compare all those guys, but I think Bumowski's at the top of my list for a pure amateur who never turned pro.
Tis the game has kind of
there's
changed,
two things
right?
there,
Okay, yeah,
two
go.
things there,
Go.
right?
Yeah.
Bumowski, but that's all he did was play golf. He could have been a pro.
Yeah.
Right. True.
The other boy we just talked about, Grigorski, he was a pro for a little while, but he had a full-time job besides as a realtor and as a lawyer.
Right.
So, and there's I'll give you one good story. I know we got a lot of time. He came to Wisconsin, and played here, and he had a very difficult time making the team. And we would qualify every week. He couldn't qualify, couldn't make it. So one day he came here, we were qualifying, and one of my players, I caught him not doing the right thing on the course, cheating. Okay, so we canceled him, got him out, which gave Bob Gregorski the opportunity now to be the 5th player on the team.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes out and he shoots 75, and he was just very upset. Can you come up? We'll hit some balls, and I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to do nothing. Well, he missed an 8-footer on the last hole to shoot 62.
Oh, no kidding.
And that set him free. That set him off. From that time on, he became an all Big Ten player and off and running.
Well, and I think, both of you have knowledge of this, and then we'll have to go because Mario is going to join us in the next segment. Both of you have knowledge of this. The game has changed, right? So
Absolutely.
If you're a great player young now, you're going to probably try to find your way to make money at it and turn pro. But there was a time when that wasn't an option for many people. You certainly lived through that era.
But we forgot Simonson. You forgot Caravello.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot the other guy, amateur
Daly?
player. Who? John Daly. Or
here we're talking about in Wisconsin.
Yeah. I mean,
the Ams.
These are good players.
Sure.
I played with Mark Bobowski. Yes, he's a good player. I played with these other 3 guys, and they were real players too. But he's got a record. But that's what he did. That's all he did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did he work at any? I don't know what his passion was, what his life was like, but he played golf. We're not taking anything away from him other than he was totally committed to playing golf. That's a pro.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, I rest my case.
He rested his case, and
Anyway,
and he's been waiting all day, all afternoon long to get you on the Italian.
Oh,
so,
boy.
Gary, we'll let you go so you can give Rob Hernandez a call.
His line's going to be busy.
Right away.
Right away. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Thank you, Gary. We always appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Gary D'Amato
Thank
joining
you.
us, and we're going to visit with Mario Tiziani next. He'll join us when we come back. This is Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
Thank you, Wisconsin, for supporting the 2025 American Family Insurance Championship. This year's event debuted a new team competition and a new location at TPC Wisconsin. Congratulations to the winning team of Darren Clark and Thomas Bjorn. The pair shot 32 under over the 54-hole event, securing the team title with a final round score of 7 under 64. Mark your calendars for the 2026 American Family Insurance Championship, which returns to TPC Wisconsin June 5th through the 7th. Stay up to date on all things Am Fam Champ at amfamchampionship.com.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions, the University of Wisconsin Golf Course University Ridge is open for play and awaiting your arrival. With more tee times open in 2025, you can reserve your next round directly at universityridge.com. Not enough time for golf? Enjoy our excellent selection of Wisconsin golf merchandise. Fine-tune your game at our world-class practice facility or grab a bite and drink at the W Grill. Put University Ridge on your calendar in 2025 and play where the Badgers play. That's University Ridge Golf Course.
When you or a loved one could use a helping hand, turn to the caring team of experts in senior living at Oak Park Place. This is Paul Braun, and when I needed someone to help me navigate senior living for my wife, I called Oak Park Place. They were with me every step of the way, from the first call through move-in day. Choose a community that promotes independence when you want it, assistance when you need it. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself
Mario is on the line.
Mario
is on the line.
Or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
TPC Wisconsin is...
1 minute. Again, Mario is on the line.
That includes a challenging 18-hole layout, a good variety of programs for junior golfers, indoor and outdoor tennis, athletic performance center, swimming pool, luxurious locker room, and spacious accommodations for family gatherings and weddings. TPC Wisconsin, a total people center and a complete game for the whole family. For membership details, call 608-249-1000.
12-time
30
PGA Tour winner
seconds.
and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker for Wisconsin Honor Flight.
For the past decade, the Wisconsin Honor Flights have recognized the men and women of our armed forces by escorting them to Washington, D.C. to visit the memorials built in their honor. These honor flights have served the veterans of World War II, Korea, and now we are making a push to give all Vietnam veterans the welcome home they deserve.
10
If you're
seconds
one
to
of these
music.
war
You
era
got 10.
veterans or know of one, please visit wisconsinhonorflight.org. Find the hub nearest you and download an application today. We thank you for your service.
Mics are on.
Back with you. It's Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin on a kind of a beautiful June night. Weather's going to get warm. We've had some rain in and around the area, but summer temperature is going to start to arrive this week. So for those who love to play golf in summer weather, we're going to get it here. Mario Tiziani joins us on the program. Mario, we're so excited to talk to you. We couldn't catch up last week because of your travel. But let me begin by just saying congratulations, and what a joy it was to watch you and Steve go around Friday, Saturday, and Sunday a week ago. Congratulations on a great tournament. I know you wanted one more spot in the standings, but we still loved watching you go, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Super fun week, busy week, emotional week. But yeah, I honestly, besides not winning, it was pretty special. I really couldn't have done it up much better.
What did you learn, Mario, about your abilities and in terms of getting closer to that line of where you're going to be part of the Champions Tour? What did you take away from the weekend here?
You mean in my play?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I know I can play the game. You know, and I had a little chip on my shoulder that week to prove to myself and maybe some others that, you know, I heard some rumblings, you know, as the years gone on that he picked me because he had to. So I didn't tell many people that, but I was pretty motivated to show that I've got a pretty good golf game as well. So I feel like I held my own, you know, and I think I you know, look, being in contention, being in the last group. I mean, I'm out there playing with 3 Ryder Cuppers. Yeah, it can only take positives from it, and you know, just continue to get that self-belief.
Sometimes we, in doing what I do in Sports Talk, I wonder about that edge and that chip on your shoulder and how it works. It works in other sports, hockey players, basketball players, football players, and I always wonder how well it works on the golf course. So how did you channel a little bit of that edge to be a positive on the golf course?
Yeah, good question. You know, I think, yeah, I don't know. You know, you try to create the chip on your shoulder and go into every week kind of trying to find that little spark. But I think when it's just kind of created organically and naturally, like it was for me, for whatever reason, it's just kind of tapped into to some good golf. I didn't play great on Sunday. You know, I didn't have it all. But, you know, I do feel like I had a good week on the course and was just really kind of focused. And, you know, given the week and how much was going on, I was pretty happy to kind of compartmentalize everything and go out there and do a decent job.
We're visiting with Mario Tiziani. We had Steve Stricker on earlier. He focused in on that last putt, the final shot of the weekend, and how significant a putt that was for you. Can you give us a sense of what that moment was like and the focus and making that as it went in the hole on your last shot?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was upset at the iron shot. It was in the first cut, and I just kind of funked it a little and didn't come off. And you know, I knew walking up there everything that was at stake. I really wasn't thinking about making it at that point. I knew it was at stake, and I didn't hit a great first putt, and I guess I knew that it would be a positive if I could just, pull it all together and make that putt. I mean, it felt like it was to win. It was significant. Yeah, it was significant, and we didn't make a bogey all week, and I thought a lot about that, but at the same time, I just kind of fell back on preparation. I practice. I practice for these moments, and all you can do is just kind of go through it and do the best you can. So, when it went in, it felt great. I think, respectfully from Darren and Thomas Bjorn and Steve and other people that have made really big putts, I think they knew what that meant to me and in general. So it was a lot of, kind of the head nod and a wink, and, they're pretty proud. So, and as was I.
We're chatting with Mario. And Mario, what was the reaction you heard from the players and your overall thoughts on the first tournament here at TPC?
It was very positive. I got text messages from guys, which I've never gotten before. And, they don't have to do that. So they obviously, whether it was on the plane or back home, thought about the week. And I think everybody was in a don't know. They said, look, it could be great. It maybe not. It could flop. The course was a wild card. I mean, there was people thought certain things about the course just based on what they heard. And so I think once they got there and they went around a couple times, that's probably the main comments I got was, as guys went around it, they were like, man, this is a cool spot. I mean, it's super playable. The format was awesome. The turnout was great. The facilities are great. I didn't hear any negatives, and keep in mind, I don't expect them to tell me the negatives, but,
right.
But you can tell when someone's genuine typically.
Yeah.
I'm rambling, but I think everybody that commented loved it. I'm sure there's guys that didn't. That's fine, and that's going to happen. You don't have to play. But I think it was great. I got a lot of really positive stuff, and I think people were super pumped up to come and do it.
Mario, the rest of the year for you, how close are you to becoming a regular, and what's on your agenda the rest of the way in this season?
Hard to say. I still kind of sit in that spot where I'm alternates, a lot of the weeks. I'm first alternate this week for the players. I think it'll be a long shot to get in. I'm an alternate for the U.S. Open next week, which I don't think I'll get in. But I mean, I'll have my opportunities. I just have to be efficient, and when I play, I have to, produce. So I like the challenge. I'm sitting 44. The 36 is, where I'd love to get to. That's the, fully exempt next year and all the way through the playoffs. So you can see how a good week jumps you up. So I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and when I get my opportunities, take advantage of them.
Tiz, you know a little bit about this kid's game. What did you see? Now, you're not going to say anything here that you didn't already maybe say to Mario, but what did you see in his game in the tournament that was played here?
Well, you hit it on it. That last putt was a big putt, but he's just starting to get going.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, I spent 10 years not even playing. And he's just starting to get going, and I think the more that he plays and finds out he belongs, because I tell him all the time, every time you play, you definitely belong. You're beating a lot of people. You look at the scores of the people who are those Ryder Cuppers and everything else, and he's beating them. So it's just a matter of he gets to believe, like anybody, you get to believe in what you're doing here. He makes a few putts in the critical area. He's off and running again.
Tiz, Mario, I'll finish where I began, just how much we enjoyed it. We end up talking, here because of where we are. We talk about Steve a lot, but there was a special joy for a lot of us watching you go around. We pay attention to your scores when in every tournament you're in, but watching you go around here was a lot of fun personally, a lot of fun for me and so many others who have paid attention and admired what you do from afar. So again, I'll say thanks for being with us and congratulations. It was a lot of fun for us to watch.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed coming home. Steve's the guy. We all know that, and I know that. But it's fun to walk alongside of them. It's fun to be at home on many levels and play. And I'm not out there just, Kisner says it, right? It's not a hobby. I'm out there to do things, and I'm glad I could do it in front of people and that people enjoyed watching it.
Mario, appreciate it. We'll hope to visit with you again very soon.
Take care, Mario.
Awesome. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Mario.
Bye-bye.
We'll visit with his, let me see now. Let me do the math here. His niece.
Yeah, that'd be his niece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
had to do family math on Bobby's relationship to Mario.
They're very close. She caddies
Yeah,
for him,
yeah, good.
So they're very close.
We'll talk with Bobbi Stricker on the other side. She's on her way down to St. Louis, playing in the tournament. We'll visit with Bobbi when we come back. This is Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel?
Clear, break 3 minutes, 3 minutes.
Carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Thank you, Wisconsin, for supporting the 2025 American Family Insurance Championship. This year's event debuted a new team competition and a new location at TPC Wisconsin. Congratulations to the winning team of Darren Clark and Thomas Bjorn. The pair shot 32 under over the 54-hole event, securing the team title with a final round score of 7 under 64. Mark your calendars for the 2026 American Family Insurance Championship, which returns to TPC Wisconsin June 5th through...
So we're rolling with music at 56. Run it right to the end. Got it. Okay, thank you.
The perfect golf getaway awaits with numerous luxurious lodging styles, perfect for groups of any size. Carved from the natural beauty of the area, Wild Rock is set against rolling hills, rugged terrain, and views you won't forget. Book your next round or stay and play package today and get ready for an exceptional golf experience. Visit wildrockgolf.com for more information. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, Matt LePay, your friendly game announcer for Ridgetop Exteriors. Is your home ready to stand out this season? Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com for your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Would you like more time to focus on your hobbies and less time with keeping up with your home? This is Paul Brown for the Arbors Independent Living at Oak Park Place. Contact the leasing team at Oak Park Place to find out how you can...
1 minute. Bobby is on the line. Bobby is on the line.
Arbors Independent Living at Oak Park Place on Madison's East Side and in Janesville. Live life, live well. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Hey guys, it's Mike Heller for Lombardi Limonada. You know this is my time of year, hitting the links, grilling out, boating. Better weather means Lombardi time. Lombardi Limonada, an Italian-inspired hard lemonade, locally owned and made with all natural ingredients. None of those
30 seconds.
And it goes great with just about any summertime activity, anytime, anywhere. Loosen up by picking up some Lombardi Limonada today at your local Festival Foods and make any time feel like summertime with Lombardi Limonada.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you.
10 seconds to music. You got 10.
New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Mics are on.
Back with you talking golf at TPC Wisconsin. Tiz, we've spent all this time hearing listening to what Mario thought on the tournament, what Steve thought on the tournament. Dennis, it's a week removed. What did you think about the tournament here at Am Fam? About time somebody asked.
About time you got to me. That's okay. Here's the thing. Here's the motivation. You know, the number one concern was that we did a record of everything. You know, they sold this, they sold it, so revenue is going to be a record. And the come-outer in this is Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
That's number one. Children's Hospital plus all of those other people who write letters and get money.
Right.
But Children's Hospital is the big thing. The second thing is the membership here. I had people, 10, 15 people come. They really liked it. They were sincere about coming up and saying how much they liked how they were treated here in this event. We had this whole area here. So that was very cool. And then after that comes the tournament. I had no doubts in my mind that they would like what's here. If they didn't like what's here, that's a good idea. Don't come back.
Yeah, that Mario had that line.
Don't
Wonder where he heard that before.
Don't come back. But the big item, and we all have to understand that what this is all about is that Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And I feel so good that we were part of that. And you heard what he said about our staff and how they, but between the PGA, between Am Fam Foundation, Am Fam staff, the PGA, and our staff, how they melded together. One time, no issues.
It seemed flawless. Almost.
No issues. So go ahead. And I had another friend of mine come from, I drove in here. I got on the bus. I got over here. I mean, all those people, I never had a problem.
Yeah.
For our first time, it's phenomenal. So we're really looking forward to the next 2 years for sure.
Pretty good. Bobbi Stricker, you know her. She's on the line, joining us on her way down to St. Louis. So, Bobbi, let me get your perspective, because you weren't able to take part in the Pro-Am. You're a pro, so you can't do that. So you were a spectator all weekend long. What were your thoughts of this tournament?
Yeah, hi guys. By the
Hi.
way.
Hi.
It was so cool. It kind of gets me emotional to even think about it and talk about it, just because I know how much hard work goes in behind the scenes. I get a front row seat to just the behind the scenes stuff that nobody gets to see. And it was honestly, I know, a dream come true for a lot of people, but I'm just so happy for my grandpa. And just I know that's a dream come true for him to have a PGA Tour event there, and it just made it that much more special that we had my dad and my uncle team up and then contend on Sunday. I don't know, it was the coolest Am Fam that I've ever been a part of and witnessed, and it has a lot to do with my family, so it was great.
Bobbi, we know you're on the road heading for a tournament. Give us a status report of where you're at.
Yeah, I'm in the car. I have just got to St. Louis. I'm almost to my destination, so I'm playing in a golf tournament this weekend. I start Thursday. So here a little early. I'm not in the Pro-Am, which is on Wednesday, so I'll have to play the course tomorrow. And I got a 4-day tournament, which I haven't had a 4-day event yet this year. So that means if I make the cut after the first, so I'm pumped. The game feels really good, and might go to a baseball game on Friday. Go see the Cardinals. So it's gonna be a fun week.
You played, Bobbi and Izzy both played in the State Open a week ago. You were both top 10. You were 4th. Izzy was 9th. Give us a sense of what you experienced at the Women's State Open.
Yeah, we played Lacrosse Country Club. First time I'd ever been there, and it was very cool. A very cool golf course. You're in a quarry of a sort. And there's a lot of undulation. You're hitting up super high to down low. I mean, every hole has some sort of hill. It was a hard walk, honestly, but the greens were in really good shape. It was really fun. I definitely did not have my best stuff, and I am very. It's cool and encouraging that I did get 4th and didn't feel like I played very good, because I know that there's some better golf in me. But no, we had a great time, and it was nice little sister trips for Izzy and I. Yeah,
pretty cool. Final thoughts, and I know our audio's not ideal here, but final thought. The car, I get it. The final thought on watching your dad and your uncle play together and how cool that was. You talk about emotional. I imagine there was some emotion in that, but how amazing and awesome that was for you.
Yeah, it was really cool. And my 2 cousins, Mario's 2 girls, were out there with us too, and obviously my Aunt Cressy. So yeah, just to be able to walk around with them and cheer on our dads. I mean, and they're both our uncles also. So I don't know, just like super unique, and I can't wait for next year already. We always talk about how the week after Am Fam we're like in Am Fam depression.
Yeah, right.
And honestly, like this year was like a lot stronger than others just because of just how cool it was. So we can't wait for next year, and I know a lot of people involved can't wait also.
Bobbi, we always appreciate when we get to visit with you. Best of luck to you in St. Louis this week, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bobbi Stricker on her way down to St. Louis, and so this is a pretty fun week with Izzy in the match play and the Open a week ago, and Bobbi playing down in St. Louis. And you're not an emotional, at least you don't share with us that you're emotional, but she talks about that all of this has to have been emotional for both you and your wife, Bobbi, and how great this was.
That's a big item. We have priorities. Priorities when I was coaching, like it was, faith, family, education, golf. That's the way they line up. So, and that business of family is a big item, for us. And it's not something that we share. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something that we do, and a lot of respect for one another, especially these girls. I mean, they're picking off. He's going down to Mississippi. The other one's over here. They're gone. They have their own gig, and to watch Izzy play today was really special to see how she's progressing and how good she is, and how good she's going to be. Same old thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, in conclusion here. There are a lot of people that obviously didn't talk to you one-on-one, but I was here all weekend. And there are a lot of members in this club who really appreciated what you did for them for this tournament.
It was great.
You didn't hear it enough times, but I guarantee you a lot of people felt that way.
Well, I sat in that room. I know we're closing down. I sat in a room, watched these guys on TV, and I see our members going in and out. It's real quiet in there. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, one of those guys makes a putt. Holy man, they're jumping off the seat, yelling. I thought it was in the deal. Yeah. So it was really cool, and we're looking forward to next year. But remember that the business of Children's Hospital, it's a big item.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what a show tonight, huh? Steve, Mario, Gary, Bobbi. Gary's going to go to Italy.
Gary's going to Italy.
Somebody's going to get in trouble.
We'll
talk to you again next Monday, Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
That's right.